Hello, I'm Kevin Ramsay, and this is...
Morgan Fitch.
Why did you point at me?
This is our proposal for our educational game, which we have called Quiz Cave.
Our intro to Quiz Cave. It's a game where there's a person called Larry. He enters the cave. He tells everyone about the cave before entering. He goes missing in the cave, and then the player called Leroy has to enter the cave to look for Larry. But you have to go deeper through the cave by answering English questions such as synonyms, adjectives, and verbs.
Does it meet the requirements? Well, of course, it will actively engage the audience. So yes, it will match it by that point. Everything is clear, and the questions are going to get progressively harder as you go along. So it's not just going to be the extremely easy, basic primary school stuff. It's going to get quite hard as you go on, and hopefully actually teach you something in the end.
The target audience that we've went for is age range of 16 to 18, preferably doing GCSE or Foundation English. We'll be teaching vocabulary and language features throughout the game. The average person, they don't have to be a gamer to play, since the gameplay mechanics are very simple, just moving with the keyboard and then jumping down to a hole.
This is how we arrived at our idea. First, we came up with 3 ideas for what our game could be, both English and maths. This one could work for maths. These 2 could work for maths, and this one was specifically for English that we came up with. The first one here, Hangulary, is basically hangman combined, where it would set a word and you would have to guess a synonym of it by playing a game of hangman. Grand Quiz Auto, as we called it as a nickname. It acts as like an educational game that we analysed as during our research for it, called Crazy Taxi, where you would just drive along and answer questions by going down different roads. So we did that, and we go with that sort of idea. And then the other one which we've come up with now is Quiz Cave, which is as he already described it. We've got 2 examples of concept art here. We have the sketch for the playable character, Leroy, and we also have a sketch for a basic design of the cave that you would go through right here, if you can all see that. Our storyboard is basically what he said. Larry finds the cave, tells people about it, and then goes off to search for treasure in this cave. Then goes missing, and the player character then goes into the cave to find him, where the game then begins, answers questions, and then you find out what happened to him at the end, where he is.
Explanation of content. There will be 3 holes. Before the hole will be 3 answers. You have to remember them, and then you'll come upon a question that will be like, what is a synonym of big? There will be 3 answers. 1 is the right answer. The other 2 will make you restart the whole game again. So you have to progress throughout the whole thing just to get the right answer. So then you have to learn each word to actually answer the question, because they disappear when you get to a certain distance away from them.
Got a video of what the gameplay is like here.
What am I doing in a cave?
Well.
A penny. Penny! Penny! Penny!
obviously it's not the final build, so everything may be different in the end.
Yeah.
This is our art style. It's very simple, so we can get everything done within the time frame that's been given to us. So you can see the holes, you can see the caves and the questions, and you can see the player and then the camera distance. The background is now changed, so it looks more like a cave as you're wandering, so you don't just see greyness in the back, and then a sky at the top as well. We're on schedule with our production diary. It's very colourful, as you can see. We're about here, I would say. Actually putting it all together, getting it all to work, and we're almost done, really, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, our hook for the game is you're searching for your lost friend while answering questions on the way, and at the end you have a choice. It's like a moral choice right at the end. Do you want to find your friend, or do you want the treasure? And our unique selling point is our art style, which is unique because of how simple it is, but it's also appealing as well at the same time. And also, it's not very common for educational games to have a set story, so it's also that.
Our game, the simple design is you get it right or you don't. If you don't get it right, you have to go back and see what you actually missed in the question and the answers. The way it teaches you is it makes you remember 3 words, and multiple words are used multiple times throughout the game as wrong answers and right answers. So by the end of the game, you might have remembered most of the words because they're the wrong answers. So you just skip those words and go right to the right answer. Something like that.
Q&A one, so yeah. Try and figure out a way to freeze it.
Continue.
Huh?
Hurry up.
Like, freeze it if you can.
No, it's fine. Just carry on.
Aye. Got music for our Q&A here. This.
Well, I've seen a lot of pictures and presentations in my time, but I've never seen a Q&A transition like that, or a slide like that. The first question for me is there a danger that if somebody goes through the entire game without actually learning anything in terms of the caves? Can they just go through all these caves without actually picking up any synonyms or any adjectives or any verbs or any nouns? Can they go through this? Is there a risk that a player can go through this? And if you tested their knowledge at before they played the game and at the end of it, outside of the game, and it wouldn't have gone any distance, how does the game push that learning forward?
Well, if they do that, they'll probably get some questions wrong, which requires them to restart the whole game, so they won't really bother actually trying to skip most of the questions. And because it already has the answers there, there's no point in actually skipping, because you can just read everything beforehand. So they can just either play the game like it's meant to, or what's the point in playing an educational game?
Okay, could you just sort of explain for me how, physically, how does the player decide on the answer? What is it they have to do to select the correct answer?
They just jump in the right hole.
Like, before the
Right.
hole, there's a list saying what each hole is for the answer. So you read it, and then you jump in the hole you think is represents the correct answer. So like it'll say hole 1 is this, hole 2 it means this, and hole 3 is this, and you jump in which one you think has the correct answer.
Right, okay, lovely, thank you, yes.
How many questions do you have throughout the level?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
No,
Does it
we got quite a lot though.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Jake,
What do the pennies actually do?
nothing. They're just there for entertainment.
Yeah.
If they're for entertainment, doesn't that mean the choice at the end is like void or worthless?
Yeah, it's just for fun. Yeah. Dan?
I think if in your game, if you were to just learn which hole doesn't have the spikes in, surely your game can just be trial and error without learning anything.
Yeah, but now what's the point of playing an educational game if you're going to skip the educational part?
For the story.
Yeah, the story's pretty good. You know? Jake, again?
Does the game tell you what a synonym is? Because there might be some people that don't actually know what a synonym is.
You probably
And
couldn't read it, but in the bottom left of the video, there was a list of each thing, and one described what a synonym was, one described the language features, and one said collect the coins.
I managed to get a job like playtesting this game,
Yeah.
and one of the things I found was that it was quite difficult as I played throughout it. Is there anything that you want to add to like make like an easier route or something? Because I found it very difficult, you know, I died a lot.
Well, that's the whole point of learning.
Guess so.
Jake again.
are you afraid of this game becoming more of a memory game compared to an educational one?
Well, it's a bit of both in the end, isn't it? Because you got to remember the answers before actually entering the holes. Is that it?
Alright, thank you.
Lovely.
Morgan and Kevin.
Thank you.